What is going on, dudes and dudettes? It is Deadbolt here, bringing back some more SCP reactions, and today we got SCP up. God damn it. I do this way too often, don't I? I should really look at this before I start recording, and also my camera is. There we go. All right, SCP 2309. This was not a reaction. This is a suggestion by Alpha Shocker. He said it's really good, so I'm curious to see what it is. My prediction: the Iron Wall of Dhul-Qarnayn. Man, I have no idea how to pronounce it, but it's Euclid Indestructible SCP. This might be like a wall, like segregating a nation, you know, kind of like the one Trump wanted to build. You think it's something like that, but like it just took on, like maybe there was like some. Wait, I think Alpha Shocker mentioned that there was like some, yeah. Especially if you know about Sarkix and the Church of the Broken God. I know a little bit about the Church of the Broken God. I don't know about Sarkix that much, but so maybe they have like something to do with the wall being indestructible. I don't know. All right, let's get into it already. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Volgun. It's been a while since I've reacted to a Volgun video. Yeah, I've been reacting to like SCP Explain and Dr. Bob. They've been pretty cool, but it's nice to come back to the Volgun. You know, they still have great videos. This is what like gave me a start. No, how did I start watching SCP content? I think, well, the video game, of course, but then I think Tat's Top Videos also had some SCPs in it. And then from that channel, I went into the Volgun and stuff. But alrighty, guys. Iron Wall of Dhul-Qarnayn.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-2309.
A little bit of a different background.
Class, Euclid. Special containment procedures. In order to prevent unauthorized access, the area surrounding SCP-2309 has been enclosed by a chain-link fence and given the public designation of a proving ground used by the Georgian land forces. A team of observers is to be stationed at SCP-2309 at all times to regularly report on the structural condition of SCP-2309. Any breach in SCP-2309 is to be reported immediately and considered a potential SK-class dominant shift scenario. Upon receiving such a report, Foundation military assets stationed in the Middle East are to be activated and deployed according to Contingency Plan 2309 to assess the situation and, if applicable, engage any hostile forces that appear. Description: SCP-2309 is an approximately 20 meters tall and 5 meters thick wall constructed from blocks of iron covered in a thin layer of brass standing between the walls of pass in region.
That does sound indestructible.
Although SCP-2309 is not susceptible to damage by conventional means, SCP-2309 continuously deteriorates through an anomalous process in which pieces of metal disappear from the north-facing side of SCP-2309, leaving a variety of patterns generally similar to claw marks in appearance. This process of deterioration, which occurs between sunrise and sunset, will continue until the thickness of the wall is reduced to as little as 5 centimeters in some sections.
Do you think this is like some... it's that SCP where you put on the glasses and these beings from like a parallel universe show up, and you can only interact with them and see them when you have those glasses on, but they're like super dangerous? And this is what it kind of sounds like, because like something is damaging the wall, but nobody else can see it. You know, nobody can see it. So I'm guessing like, oh, they should bring those glasses here and then like just look at the wall. I bet you there's like tons of them trying to get through.
Between each period of deterioration, SCP-2309 will regenerate the lost material at a rate of approximately 0.5 millimeters per second, such that all of the lost material will have been regenerated before the next period of deterioration. Foundation historians believe that SCP-2309 was constructed during the 6th century BCE under the sponsorship of Cyrus the Great, founder of the Achaemenid Empire. The historical existence of SCP-2309 has been attested by various written sources dating from as early as the 1st century CE. Publicly accessible versions of these sources have been modified accordingly to obscure the existence and location of SCP-2309. Of particular interest among these sources is the following first-hand account of SCP-2309, given by Salam at Turjumani, an official serving in the court of Caliph al-Wathiq of the Abbasid dynasty during the early 9th century CE. This is a
some old
report
shit.
on the Iron Wall by Salam at Turjumani, Department of Antiquities.
Hey! Oh! That scared the fuck out of me. Oh my god. Why? I never expect that from the login. You know, usually it's just, you know, a static image that gradually zooms in. What is this? You bastard.
1908, 9958.
The fuck is that?
After the Caliph reported a dream in which he saw the Iron Wall of Dhul-Qarnayn being breached by the Yajuj and the Majuj, he dispatched me to investigate this matter.
What are you?
Northwards to the Caucasus,
I don't want to look at it.
arrived in Tbilisi after 6 months of travel. There I made inquiries concerning the state of the Iron Wall, and found an old Magian, who told me that he had seen the Iron Wall, and that it still stood. I then offered him 20 dinars to lead me to the Iron Wall, and without comment he led
What
me
the
further northward, to a pass between the mountains of and there
This is a
I
mammoth?
beheld the Iron Wall, and to the relief of both the Caliph and myself, I found
Or
that the
just
Iron Wall
rock.
still stood, and that Dhul-Qarnayn's construction equipment remained intact, scattered about the site. What I found
I'm like so distracted. Like, I feel like this thing is gonna jump scare me. What is this? Is this an animal? Or like, it just looks like a blob of flesh. But like, I thought this was a leg, but it just keeps going. And this kind of looks like a goat, kind of. Like, this kind of looks like a horn, and looks like this can be a horn. But it has like this back thing, and it looks like it has a goiter or whatever the heck. I forget, like what Brahma bulls have, you know, or a snood, like a turkey.
Hey, that thing on your beak?
my snood.
Yeah, your snood? Seriously, dude, I can't even look at that thing. You gotta think about getting it removed.
My wife likes my snood.
I'm making jokes because I'm frightened. I don't know what this is. It's making me uneasy.
Strange, however, was that I could see the scratches made by the Yajuj
Is
and
that
the
an eye?
Majuj on the Iron Wall, but I could not see Yajuj and Majuj themselves. When I expressed my confusion to the Magian, he told me that the people of the Yajuj and Majuj lie hidden beyond the Iron Wall. He then placed his hand on my shoulder, at which point I saw the horde of Yajuj and Majuj
Okay.
streaming towards us as they
So there's an
poured
arm.
the Iron Wall. They were as gruesome as I had imagined, for their nakedness was not even hidden by skin, and their hands ended not in nails, but vicious rending claws. Behind the horde of Yajuj and Majuj, I saw only devastation.
So that's what this
Every
is.
tree and plant had been uprooted, and the only beasts that survived their onslaught were flies, maggots, and roaches. Examining the disposition of the forces of the Yajuj and Majuj more closely, I saw 2 masked men, cloaked in red robes like those of Roman bishops presiding over the horde from atop flesh-crafted towers. Before them stood a massive, 4-legged beast that was larger than 5 elephants, and had only a bony plate for a face.
Okay,
Raising
that's
their
what that is.
staves towards the air, they guided the beast as a performer might guide a puppet. Responding to their every gesture, the beast began to charge toward the Iron Wall, trampling underfoot the Yajuj and the Majuj that strayed into its path, before its head slammed into the Iron Wall, which
Yeah.
emerged largely unscathed. I questioned the Magian as to why the Yajuj and Majuj continued this futile effort to penetrate the Iron Wall, when they could have undermined it or built a scaffold. He
Right.
replied that where the Yajuj and Majuj stood, the ground was harder than Damascus steel, and the ceiling of heaven was exactly at the height of the Iron Wall, so that even the most insignificant insect could not fly over it. I told the Magian that I had seen enough, and he removed his hand from my shoulder. As Yajuj and Majuj disappeared from my sight, he told me that the Caliph and the rulers of every civilized land must heed the threat of Yajuj and Majuj. Sometimes I questioned whether my vision was a sign from Allah or a Magian trick, but I am inclined to believe that I was not deceived, for Allah is knowing and seeing, and I saw only what had already been revealed.
Yeah, so he showed him a different perspective who's actually... Okay, I was able to get a little bit of that during my freakout. So the Yajuj and the Majuj are scratching at this thing, and this thing is the beast that's bigger than 5 elephants that smashes its face into the... So in the universe that they're in, this is like infinite ceiling like in Minecraft. But in our world, there's a clear, like, you could just put a ladder and climb over it. That must make them feel like such shit. They're like, hey man, can you like help us? This wall, it goes all the way up into space, man. We can't get over it, and we need to get over it. And and then here's us that's just like, just get a ladder, bro. What the fuck is wrong with you? But that's cool. I like these SCPs that are like in different realities to ours, but like we exist on the same Earth, you know? That's cool.
Foundation archaeologists began evacuations of the area surrounding SCP-2309 in 1992. Among the articles of interest discovered were as follows: a cache of approximately 1,000 Lydian coins, a large number of iron and bronze fragments from Achaemenid weapons and armor, a collection of gears and other machine parts, probably used in the construction of SCP-2309. Many are stamped with the seals of the Mechanite temple cults of the Ionian city-states. A mass grave containing skeletons with humanoid body structures largely similar to those of baseline Homo sapiens sapiens, deviating from the baseline in that their skulls largely consist of a vertically aligned pair of sharp jaws, and that their fingers end with bony claws. These specimens have been noted to resemble captured instances of SK Bio Type B. And finally, a large clay cylinder containing the following record, written in Old Persian, of the construction of SCP-2309 and the circumstances in which it took place.
So I'm pretty sure that this wall has to have been breached before, because they wouldn't have, like, in the beginning they talked about like to notify them what happened if it does breach. So there has to be a reason why that would. Also, I kind of thought like they naturally have bony claws. I thought like that was like they're alluding to them scratching at the wall so much that they're like, you know, their fingers disappeared and it's like their bone, kind of like Dead Island. No, was it Dead Island? Yeah, it's Dead Island Riptide, that monster, the zombie that has swords, but it's actually like his bone here. Like he doesn't have hands, it's just his bone, and he uses them like swords, like Baraka from Mortal Kombat. It's pretty cool, but yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
This is Iron Wall Cylinder by unknown author. Department of Antiquities, 1994, 2387.
All civilized men praise Cyrus, beloved of Ahura Mazda, King of Kings, King of Persia, Babylon, Sumer, Akkad, and Lydia. His army, which counts in its ranks as many men as there are drops of water in the Tigris and the Euphrates, marched into the Caucasus to confront the invaders who have sailed out from Adatum, led by Karaski Yagaha and Karaski Magaha, David generals of the Angra Mainyu. They have caused great mischief in our lands. At first, Cyrus's army drove them back to the pass, but the onslaught was endless, such that even the companions could not hold them back. In his divinely granted wisdom, Cyrus resolved to build a barrier to hold back the Devas and their accursed armies. Gathering the wisest men from all corners of his empire, Cyrus journeyed to Ionia, where he enlisted the Mechanite builder priests. As Cyrus's armies held the line, the Mechanites erected a great wall from blocks of iron and poured over it a layer of consecrated brass. So
that sounds cool. The Mechanites. That would sound like how I imagine like Thor's hammer would be built. Who built Mjolnir? The Mechanites. Like, and they're just like an elite group of just they can fix anything, create any weapon, you know, just forge anything. Oh, that's an awesome name.
That Karski Yagaha and Karski Magaha and their armies will be sealed away from mankind in the realm of Druj until the end of time.
Yeah.
Because of the eschatological significance assigned to SCP-2309, and the existence of written and archaeological evidence suggesting that SCP-2309 was constructed as a barrier against Sarkic armies, it is believed that the breach of SCP-2309, if and when it should take place, may constitute an SK-class dominance shift scenario. Historical and esoteric research regarding the nature of the threat posed by SCP-2309 and possible improvements to its containment is ongoing.
Huh. Well,
This
hold on.
concludes today's lecture.
I know it's ending, but what's an SK-class dominance shift scenario? I'm gonna look that up real quick. K-class scenarios, an unofficial list of previous used. This is not official in any way. Yes, this is perfect. Okay. Definition changing of the planet's dominant species. Oh, okay. You know, he said this is unofficial, but you know, SCP universe is whatever you think is canon, so this is canon in my universe. The changing of the planet's dominant species, so we would no longer be the apex predator. These what were they? Hold on. I want to say Majuj and the Yajuj and the Majuj would be the dominant species. That's what an SK class dominance shift is.
Going. This concludes today's lecture. Thank you for listening, if indeed you still are, and you're all dismissed. Goodbye.
All right. This article was written by Univine.
I would like to give a special thank you to Alatreon. Thank you.
Damn, that was interesting. But yeah, that's interesting how they're like hidden from our sight, but their like only goal is to get through the wall. And once they do that, it's just GG for us. Like that's it. Well, I mean, yeah, no, it would probably be GG. I can't really see human beings and another humanoid type entity, like another human type species that are like just around our intelligence level. I don't see them coexisting because like we haven't in the past, you know, with Neanderthal and all that. So, and they seem like they're stronger, but also they don't have guns. Like they just have weapons and these weird beast things, which could probably do a number on tanks. Because, you know, they're over here bashing themselves into this wall. But I don't know. I don't know who would win in that events, because they said they're at risk for an SK class dominance shift. So maybe, but who knows? This is still a very intriguing SCP. Like I said, I love these SCPs that are just, they exist, but they don't until they do. That sounds confusing, but like that's exactly how this SCP is. But alrighty, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're greatly appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, everybody. Bye-bye.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me. Cause she got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, got some egos to the face, baby, I don't need no space.